are looking for the second mic. If it's on your table, please let us know. It's there. Yeah. Chartered Accountant. Auditor report. Report of the auditor to the members, Board of Fellows, Nigeria Institution of Surveys for the period ended 31st December 2026. At 31st May 2026, we have audited the financial statements set out on page 9 to 12, which has been prepared on the basis of accounting policies on page 8, respective responsibilities of board executives and head auditor. The board executives are responsible for the preparation of financial statements. It is our responsibility to form an independent opinion based on our audit on those statements and to report our opinion to you. Basis of opinion. We have conducted our audit in accordance with generally accepted audit standard. Audits include examinations on a test basis of evidence relevant to the amount and disclosures in the financial statement made by the board in the preparation of the financial statement, and of whether the accounting policy are appropriate to the board circumstances, consistently applied and adequately disclosed. We have planned and performed our audits so as to obtain all the information and explanation which we consider necessary to provide us with sufficient evidence to give reasonable assurance that the financial statements are free from material misstatements, whether caused by fraud, other irregularities, or error. In forming opinion, we have also evaluated the overall adequacy of the presentation of information in the financial statement. The financial statements are in agreement with the books of accounts which have been properly kept, and we have obtained all the information and explanations we require. Opinion. In our opinion, the financial statement gives a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the Board of Fellows as at 31st May 2026. Page 71. Statement of insignificant accounting policy. The following statements, according policies adopted by Board of Fellows in preparation of the financial statement. 1. Basis of presentation. The financial statements are prepared under the historical course convention using cash basis of accounting 2, non-current assets. Non-current assets are stated at cost less provision for depreciation. Provision for depreciation on non-current assets is calculated on a straight line basis to written off the cost over the estimated useful lives. Fixed assets, office, furniture, and equipment, 10%. 3, income. The board is financed by actual cash realized from members, fellows, pledge, welfare fund, medallion, investment income, and other sources. On page 72, statement of financial position, and as follows. Page 73 is the details of income and expenditures, and as follows. Page 74, summary of receipt and payment are as follows also. Page 75 is the notes to the financial statements, are all in details there, and as follows. So final but not the least, on page 76 are the total of the income for Board of Fellow. Thank you. God bless you all.
Thank you, our external auditor. I think the first thing is to adopt the audit, and thereafter you can start firing him questions. Can I see the hands of those who wish to move a motion to adopt the external auditor's report? Where? JJ. Oh, did you go? Okay.
My name is Surveyor Dr. Augustus Dedego. I move a motion for the acceptance of the auditor's report as a working document. Thank you.
Thank you. Seconder.
Mr. Chairman, now that I'm fed, I second totally. With all my legs, with my heart, I second the motion for the auditor's report.
Thank you. Now, AGM, the auditor's report is now open for your questions, for your discussion. And let me also do in the orderly manner. You know, in African society, when we attend meetings, we don't wait when somebody talks, then say, I want to say exactly like you. Here at AGM, you have your opinion. So we want that opinion, not the one that somebody has said. Let me see the hands of those who want to make comment so that I can give you a number. I'll start from here. Going? Nobody here? Nobody here? Number one? Yeah? Nobody? Okay, number one. The only question, oh yeah? Ask.
Okay.
Nasir.
Thank you, sir. Page 75. Item number 1, under note 1. You said NIS legacy building. NIS legacy building investment. As a professional, please, I don't want us to leave this meeting without correcting this impression. From the Oxford Dictionary, an investment is the allocation of money or resources with the expectation of generating a financial return. such as profit, equity, or interest. A donation, on the other hand, is a voluntary gift of money, goods, or time to charitable cause of organization with absolutely no expectation of financial return. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that that caption is wrong based on Oxford Dictionary that we have here. So you are here to correct us. We wanted to say it the other time, but here we are. You have mentioned it. I don't want us to leave this all and then have this interpretation to go home with. Thank you, Mr. President.
Let me stand, my dear colleagues. Donation and investment. If we say it is donation, it will appear in our books as an expenditure, which it did, and we suddenly found out that this administration we had a debit of 92 million naira. By just considering it, this 100 million naira. And we have also mentioned here that if you allow it and this thing gets into the hands of the Federal Inland, what do they call FIRS, they will see it, they will see this organization as being very rich, that you can give us 100 million naira. So, on the contrary, if you put that money, that Board of Fellows has invested this money in the NIS building. Because let me tell you, in your accounting books now, going forward, that building is an asset. It's an asset. And all we are saying is that that asset, you have 470 million and we have 100 million. We, both NIS and Board of, they are the same. There is no difference inside it. So whether we consider it as donation or whether we consider it, what harm does it make? That we gave you 100 million naira, yes, it's appearing in our books. And that we say that it's an investment in NIS. This is accounting, and please understand it that way. But let me allow the auditor to explain.
Thanks so much, the chairman, sir. Thanks so much, the past president, NIS, for the question. It's an investment. Professionally, as an accountant, and it's a professional, as an professional accountant also, it's an investment. And based on your question, and based on the dictionary meaning, in accounting way, investment in the sense that when they say investment is something that will bring return. And when they said it will bring an return, I first of all digress to your point, and I will now give you my own stand that is an investment. Any investment, we are expected to get return. But this one is non-cash return. That's why it's an investment. Because you are using the building, they are going to be using the building without paying rent anymore. That's non-financial dividend. Non-financial dividend in the sense that, well, we have discussed this severally, and that's the basics. The investments in the sense that when they contribute the money to NIS, if they are using part of the building, are they paying for rents? If the answer is no, that means an investment. Are they going to be paying for renting the place that they contributed? They call it legacy building. As legacy building, they contribute to your asset, and you are all together as a body. Now, Board of Fellows is what's it called? The fellow to the institution. And as they are the fellow to the institution, they are using the place without you collecting anything from them. So their own dividend is not paying rent. So as a result, it's an investment. Based on accounting principle and accounting standard, it's an investment. Thank you, sir. It's not donation.
So you have had the financial explanation of what we have done. We are not asking NIS to give you money, but in our books, it shows that we have invested 100 million. They too will recognize it in their books. That's why we are not paying rent. Okay, we go to the next. You can go back now. Thank you.
Thanks so much, sir.
We go to consideration of Bob memoranda. We have produced a separate piece of paper. That's what you should be looking at now. Yeah? And we have here about seven items listed. That's the one we are going to use. So for meanwhile, you can close the program booklet. And before we start, this is the main core of the AGM. And I want all of us to be at peace with ourselves. Let me again explain. The Board of Fellows is part and parcel of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. And until God brings everything to end in this world, so will it remain. The president of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors will always be the head of the BOF, in principle, even though you have a chairman. These things we are reaching for us to discuss today. We are not contesting power with NIS. This ESCO has just found out the contradictions between our bylaw and NIS constitution. And so we'll put it before you. We are not forcing you. You will make your best judgment to advise us. And that's why we're presenting it as board paper to you. Note 1 says Memorandum on Legislature Reforms and Institutional Harmonization of the NIS Constitution 2021 and the BF Bylaws 2023. Now, rather than stay here and be complaining that these problems are there, we have put it on paper before you. For you to go through it, and whatever we agree on, then we'll cause an action to contact the president, council, and in due course, they will now direct during a constitutional review for these suggestions which we are making to be reflected in order to bring Memorandum of Legislature Reforms and Constitutional Harmonization of the NIS Constitution 2021 and the Board of Fellows 2023 as amended. Introduction. This memorandum is submitted to the Board of Fellows at its annual general meeting holding today, Monday, 22nd June 2026 in Kano. It contains proposals for legislative reforms aimed at harmonizing the NIS Constitution 2021 with Board of Fellows Bylaws 2023 as amended and the Management Manual of the Board of Fellows 2025. The objective is to ensure effective governance, eliminate conflicting provisions, and strengthen the semi-autonomous status of the Board of Fellows as established by the Sokoto 2015 AGM resolutions, while promoting professional development within the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. It must be noted that prior to the establishment of the Semi-Autonomous Board at the 2016 NIS AGM in Osogbo, Ogun State, the board operated under the purview of the NIS president. The provisional NIS Constitution 2015, which vested power over honorary fellowship in the NIS president, was not amended to transfer such powers to the board. Unfortunately, this omission was carried out into the subsequent NIS Constitution of 2021. 1.4. Subsequently, The BOF bylaws 2019 were instituted to establish an administratively and financially independent board, separate from the NIS executive, under the purview of a chairman and not the NIS president. The BOF bylaws transfer the NIS president's power over honorary fellowship to the board. The same powers are retained by the board in the BOF bylaws 2023 as amended. Although in principle the provisions of the NIS constitution override the provisions of BOF bylaws, the management manual, and any policy document, the retention of this NIS president's power over honorary fellowship in NIS Constitution 2021 is a misnomer and contrary to the Sokoto 2015 AGM resolutions. Indeed, it was an administrative error or oversight. Now the background. The Board of Fellows has observed inconsistencies and overlapping provisions between the NIS Constitution 2021 and BOF bylaws 2023 as amended, particularly regarding to the conferment of honorary fellowship and operational autonomy of the board. Section 234 of the NIS Constitution 2021 currently vests in the President with council approval the power to confer honorary fellowship on non-surveyors. This conflicts with Chapter 5, Section 3 of BOF bylaws 2023. Exclusivity within the mandate of the Board of Fellows in line with the Sokoto 2015 AGM resolutions. These inconsistencies have created procedural ambiguity and risks undermining the governance framework and the professional standards of the institution. 3, proposals for legislative reforms. To achieve institutional harmony, the board executive proposes the following specific amendments for the consideration and adoption by the Board of Fellows at this annual general meeting. 3.1, expulsion of completing proviso. That the proviso in section 324 of the NIS Constitution 2021, which states, without prejudice to this subsection, the President, on approval of the Council, can confer honorary fellowship on any deserving person who is not a surveyor. Be expunged in its entirety. This will remove the parallel authority that conflicts with the established role of the Board of Fellows. 3.2, rephrasing that section 3.24 honorary fellows as well, that the opening paragraph of section 324 of the NIS Constitution 2021 be rephrased to read, honorary fellowship of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors may be conferred on distinguished persons who are not professional surveyors, but have made outstanding contributions to the development of surveying, geoinformatics, or national development. The nomination, evaluation, and recommendation for such conferment shall be exclusively preserved of the Honors and Meritorious Service Award Committee of the Board of Fellows, in accordance with Board Bylaws 2023 as amended, and the Secretary 2015 AGM resolution, establishing a semi-autonomous Board of Fellows. The conferment shall thereafter be referred by the Board of Fellows of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. 3.3, consequential amendments. That consequential amendments be made to the NIS Constitution 2021, BOF bylaws 2023 as amended, and the management manual for the Board of Fellows 2025 to reflect the above changes and ensure uniformity of language, process, and authority. Now, justification 4.0. The proposals will, 1, strengthen governance by clarifying the exclusive mandate of the Board of Fellows in matters of fellowship and honorary fellowship. Eliminate conflict between Constitution and bylaws, ensuring legal and procedural certainty. Uphold the Secretary 2015 AGM resolutions, which establish the Board of Fellows as a semi-autonomous organ with defined powers. Enhance professional standards by ensuring that only persons properly vetted by the Board of Fellows are conferred with honorary fellowship. Finally, promote institutional harmony between the Board of Fellows, NIS, National Executive Committee, and the Council. Now, these are our prayers. The General Meeting of the Board of Fellows is hereby requested to work. Consider and adopt the proposed amendments of Section 324 of the NIS Constitution 2021 as contained in paragraphs 3.1 and 3.2 above. 2, mandate the Secretariat to liaise with the Constitutional Review Committee of NIS And for NIS to initiate the formal amendment process at the next AGM annual general meeting. We are not talking about the one taking place now. Direct that the management manual for the Board of Fellows, supplementary provisions 2026, be updated to reflect these reforms upon adoption. And 4, affirm the semi-autonomous status of the Board of Fellows as a critical pillar for professional excellence and institutional ability. And in conclusion, 6 and 6.1, the proposed legislative reforms are essential for the orderly growth, prestige, and effectiveness of both the Board of Fellows and the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. The adoption will strengthen and entrench the best practices in governance and safeguard integrity of the fellowship grade. Finally, upon adoption, this memorandum shall form basis for a formal communication from the Chairman Board of Fellows to the President, Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. This is our first submission to board. Now, the first is to adopt it and then to discuss it. Can we have motion for adoption? Huh? We will adopt it before we discuss it. Wait, is it real? Listen, please. I want adoption first, and then we can. Adopt for discussion, then you can talk. Let's have somebody to adopt it. I'm not hearing you. You move for adoption. Okay. Any seconder? Yes?
I'm very respected chairman of the board. Certainly, I'm in a very privileged position to speak on all that you have said. By 2015, when we conceived the idea of a board of fellows detached from the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, it was not to create a co-ownership of the institution. And at that time, we considered all that happened before then. We have always had a board of fellows. And we know that when we were preparing to become president, I looked at all and I felt that that area needs to be adopted. We have to look at it so that the board of fellows can operate the way it's doing now, making the face of the board of Nigerian institution very visible, like we have done. Now, in creating it, we set up a committee, and I, as president then, dialogue with all the past presidents on this issue. They raised particular issues then. They said, what I wanted to create was not a new thing. Some time back, I was named Kukoyi wanted to create it. But some people believe that when you create this board of fellows, because the people there are elite, this group here, we are the elite of the profession. The people there are elite. So when you make one of them president or chairman, before you know it, you'll be rubbling feathers with the institution. I said, okay, we'll try it. How do we solve it? When we created it and we conceived it, I recommended, and on the advice of past presidents, past presidents are here, and I said, what we will do first is to make a past president to be the chairman of the board. The reason being that he will not be carried away with powers. Because once you have become president of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, there's no other position that will occupy that will be very meaningful to you. You will just render your service there. That was how we created it. And now, after creating it with the constitution, there's nothing wrong in conflict. Conflicts will come at every time. You will now resolve it. What we are saying is this memorandum, at your ESCO meeting, immediately you discovered it, you don't need to write a big memorandum. You know your creator. Your creator is the NIS. You know that subsequent laws you made for yourself made you to be conflicted with them. You now write them out and say, please, Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, this body was created such. Now we are observing this. What will the institution do? We want the institution to look again into it. You don't take the initiative to begin to suggest to them that section 1, section 2. When they look at it, and in fact, I want to tell you that I had it on my mind. After 10 years of the creation of the Board of Fellows, a lot of us don't know, the NIS we look at it now with hindsight and bring up a constitution that can embody all this. In fact, we are not the only people now. If you see what is running now, you see these people now. APBSN is running riot. Most of you don't know. APBSN is running riot. Surveyors, young surveyors, everybody is going on its own. And so NIS will look at all these things after 10 years, nothing wrong. They will look at it. They are not going to condemn the whole constitution. The areas that they found that are to be read, they will set up a committee. The NIS committee will now work. In that committee, of course, you are part of the NIS. You can submit your memorandum, say this is what you observe. Young Surveyors Network will say this is what we observe. This one will say what we observe. Then NIS, a body, will take a ruling. If you know what is happening now, there are chains everywhere. Are you not ashamed? Every group has a big chain in NIS. They are introducing so many things autonomously for them. Semi-autonomous, like I said, is not peculiar to us. Everybody within the NIS, they are all semi-autonomous. So if you, instead of us going through this one, because it's going to be a nullity, the president will just look at it and believe that we cannot dictate for him. Here we are beginning. So what we do as a body, now that I brought it out, articulate all these things, write a letter or from you, send it to the president of the NIS. And I want to correct one impression. The deputy president here is not representing the president. It's representing NIS. So don't say if he's here, he's representing the president. No. Any decision you take here, it's just when you want to do, you write a letter, communicate with the president. Because a president can decide to say that, NIS can decide to say that what they are giving us, you have misused it, we don't want it. It's gone. They can do it to anybody. So please, let us not go into this area of want to have. I marked them immediately I saw it. So please, I will advise that you have done very well. You have identified things. That's okay.
Thank you.
Write a letter and forward to the NIS and let them settle with
Look into it.
Thank you.
Let me address this issue. You said we should write a letter.
No,
The chairman of board, ESCO, have highlighted this. If we don't put it before you, how can we just go and write a letter?
No, you have observed. Will you give it everything to us?
This is the way boards operate.
No.
We are following board procedure. This is the way. So now, all you need to do is to now move a motion. We have heard what you said, cause this letter to be sent to Mr. President. And then the matter is finished. That's what I said. We can't take this decision on our own, but all you need to do, the board now approves, ratify, we now send a letter. And you are aware we are doing that. That's what we are doing. So we're both saying the same thing. Okay, sorry, that's your opinion. That any other comment on the issue? Okay. So he too has agreed that the thing is to write a letter. But ESCO feels that we should come before board to show you this before we start writing the letter. We will write a letter later. Okay, that one is done. So, Oga, can you please let him speak if you don't mind? Professor Fajon, please. After you can talk, please. I'm sorry. Yes, speak, sir. You raise your hand.
If he wants to speak,
No.
I think he can speak, but I just want to move it on. I don't want to speak.
Chairman, having heard your presentation contained in the note 1 of the 7-note memorandum before us, I move that that this House has considered the kernel or the thrust of the arguments contained therein and agrees with it, and that the executive is empowered to notify the NIS for appropriate action. Thank you.
Thank you. A second from that motion. Yes, please.
It's not the whole thing. One by one.
One by one.
I, Olushola Atilola. Second the motion, moved by Professor Emeritus, Professor Reverend Francis Afolabi Fajemirokun, OON. Thank you.
The chairman and the House, the motion has just taken care of what I wanted to say, but I will just quickly add that each time we want to discuss what is between Board of Fellows and the NIS, we should remember that there is a reason why a particular document is called Constitution, and the other one is called bylaws. Let's be careful. Thank you.
We'll go to note 2. Memorandum on harmonization of overlapping provisions on disciplinary procedures in the IS Constitution and the bylaws 2023. Under introduction, the memorandum asks the approval of the annual general meeting of the board to harmonize conflicting provisions of disciplinary procedures as currently contained in the NIS Constitution and the BOF bylaws. The present inconsistency undermines the board's ability to effectively regulate its own affairs and uphold the dignity of the fellowship. 2.0, the current provisions and the conflict. 2.1, NIS Constitution, Chapter 4, Section 4.0, Board of Fellows. It states, there shall be a board comprising of fellows in the institution. The board shall have powers to regulate its own affairs, make necessary recommendations on disciplinary matters subject to the provisions of the NIS Constitution. Interpretation. While the board is empowered to regulate its own affairs, its role in discipline is limited to making recommendations to the president in council. It has no direct power to sanction its own members. 2.2, BOF Bylaws 2023, Chapter 7, Discipline and Liability, Section 1A, it states, the procedure for discipline and specific examples of punishable offenses and sanctions as contained in the NIS Constitution and board resolutions. The board recognizes that. Now, the conflict. The Constitution restricts the board to a recommendatory role. Here, the bylaws reference board resolutions on sanctions. This creates legal ambiguity. The board is thus at crossroads. It can regulate its own affairs, but it cannot enforce discipline amongst its own members. This is a major institutional drawback that weakens accountability within the fellowship rank. 3.0, justification for amendment. For the Board of Fellows to maintain the highest ethical standards and protect the integrity of the fellowship, it must be vested with clear disciplinary authority over its members. A body of eminent professionals should not be powerless to discipline its own. The power to recommend, without the power to decide, renders the body ineffective in enforcing its own code of ethics. Proposed amendments. To resolve this conflict and strengthen the board, the following amendments are proposed for the consideration and approval of this AGM. 4.1, amendment to NIS Constitution Chapter 4, Section 4.0. Delete the existing subsection 1 and replace with 1. There shall be a board comprising all fellows of the institution. The board shall have powers to regulate its own affairs, including taking decisions on disciplinary matters concerning its members on recommendation of the board's Ethics and Disciplinary Committee. 4.2, amendment of BOF Bylaws 2023, Chapter 7, Section 1A. Delete the existing provision and replace with A. The procedure for discipline, specific examples of punishable offenses, and applicable sanctions shall be as contained in BOF Code of Ethics, and the Manual of Investigation and Disciplinary Procedures. 4.3, expansion of Section 4.1, functions of the Board of Fellows. In addition to the existing functions A to H, add new subsections I. shall exercise disciplinary powers over his erring fellows based on the recommendation of ethics and disciplinary committee. J, shall institute and maintain a code of ethics and a manual of investigation and disciplinary procedures. 4.4, amendment to section 4.2, funding of the Board of Fellows. To reflect the board's financial autonomy, amend subsection B to read, B, other subventions as may be approved by the board. The existing provision, other subventions as may be approved by the council, should be deleted. And other funding process sources C to H remain unchanged. 5.0, our prayers. The Board of Fellows is respectfully requested to, 1, consider and approve the proposed amendment to harmonize disciplinary provisions. Mandate the Executive Committee to transmit the approved amendments to NIS Constitution, NIS Review Committee, and Council for ratification. 3, direct the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee to commence work on BF Code of Conduct, Ethics and Manual Investigation and Disciplinary Procedures. And finally, the adoption of these amendments will empower the board, enrich accountability, and elevate the status of fellowship within the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. Respectfully submitted to your consideration and approval. Again, I will ask that this be adopted, and then we can be discussed. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the section you have just read be adopted as a working document for discussion.
Okay. Any seconder? There are so many hands. Let me see the one in white. White is light.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to second the motion for the adoption of the request for discussion.
Okay. We'll discuss it. Again, give to him.
My respected chairman, as of today, I'm 33 years in the bar. By the time we were making this provision, I was 23 years in the bar. This is what lawyers are here. Do you know what we call mutandis mutandis? It means that when you go through a place, any of them that falls into it, you don't bring it back. Everything you are saying still link us with the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. So all these things, they are not new. It's a good thing you are identifying it. Nothing wrong about it. But the process we are taking, no, it's not the same thing we said. You have identified very good. That's the reason for setting up this board, so that there can be an independent body to look at everything we do. And this being an elite group of the institution, we are doing what you do, but you should do it right. The same thing we have said. Get it to the front of NIS. And I want to tell you one thing. When you get it to the front burner of NIS, who are the people going to discuss it? The same, we are all NIS. We are all NIS. So you are not sending it outside. Only that the nomenclature is what we are changing. Send it to NIS. When they discuss it, most of us here will be the people to be in whatever. Then we'll discuss it. So I don't think we begin to go. I marked all of them, and I knew that they all fall within the same group. Okay. Thank you so much.
Like as Elias said, this is procedure for conducting AGM. So if we move a motion, we'll go through the whole round. And then ESCO will now do the needful. What board AGM has directed us to do is that we're going to do. Yes, please.
Mr. Chairman, sir, I want to speak as a layman who has spent many years as a layman. My mind is agitated by three issues. Okay, let's say two. The first one, when you start wanting to go into disciplinary action or disciplinary measures, what happens if I have a problem with with somebody who is not a fellow? The second point that is agitating my mind is that we should go back to when we didn't have SOCON. And NIS supposedly appropriated the role of discipline in the profession, which they are not supposed to do. I want to be corrected. Let me finish, sir. Let me finish. I want you to note what and correct me. So, because what I'm trying to say is that SOCON 4E says, regulate and control the profession in all its ramifications. There are some people who feel that the way I practice and the way I behave are two different streams of possible disciplinary action. The way I practice my profession, maybe I backdate numbers, is different from the way I behave, which I'm supposed to behave as a professional, but I'm behaving irrationally in a meeting, which is not a professional meeting. So what I am trying to say, sir, is that in trying to write that letter, you may chat with the president. It is necessary to look at these things. What is the extent of powers that NIS has in terms of disciplinary action? I know that a lawyer once told me that you cannot even give a penalty in a village meeting. That is a lawyer, is not correct. Okay, so that's why I say correct me. Thank you.
Okay, let's
Thank you very much. Mr. Lehman,
Yes, Mr. Lehman.
I stand in between. Yeah, because I have a degree in no law.
A degree in no law.
In no law. Now, I'm happy that my past president says no. Because, and as I wrote in one of the papers, Fajemi Rokun edited, Practice of Surveying in Nigeria. There was a case when NSC sanctioned and suspended an engineer. That engineer went to court, and the court ruled that since he was a member of that profession, he can be sanctioned, can be suspended. So NIS has powers that is not fettered. Thank you.
The chairman of the House, let me just quickly add that the constitution of NIS is what you can use to punish a surveyor. Because it is that constitution he subscribed to as a member of that organization. And whatever you have spelled out as disciplinary action in that constitution stands in its entirety for him. Now, you cannot take the registration you did not give as NIS. It is SOCON that gives the registration. But any other thing that has to do with character, especially if it's been spelled out in the constitution that he subscribes to, it stands legally. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir. We have had similar issues in Ogun State. Because when you are talking about ethical practice, you can contact professional practice which borders on the practice of the profession. You can get into SOCON, over use of number, duplicating. But there are some other aspect that deals with your organization, which to you is now to diminish the reputation of the organization. The one, I don't want to give the name of the surveyor involved with Ogun State. So when we took action, he went to court that we had the court ruled that It was in a meeting. He said, while you are at the meeting, even meetings, not anything, even if it's not. If you are within a meeting which passes a resolution and which was adopted, which you subscribe to, and your name was present, as within the minute, you are present, you are bound. So, when we are talking about this board of fellows or something, if a fellow contravenes the constitution of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors or anything which pertains to surveying, it doesn't mean that the board of fellows, they want to treat him. What of military? When generals commit offense, other members, not generals, that we treat him, in as much as he is on the authority of the institution. A junior member can be a member of the ethics. So I think we shouldn't duplicate this. Anything the board feels that his member has contravened, he has gone against the ethics, it can be referred to the NIS after finding the assumption. Yes, it should be referred to the NIS. And a junior member of the NIS can even be the chairman. Was Obasanjo not, was he not prosecuted or treated? Was he not junior members of that constitute the Professional Council? Thank you very much. So don't let us duplicate it.
I'll take 2 more and then we'll.
The chairman, sir. My name is Tunde Fakologbon. I just want to make a proposal or a suggestion that instead of adopting this note 1, 2, 3 differently, can't we consolidate? I'm suggesting that we consolidate all the notes. You read it out to us, and all motion and adoption, we take it to the NIS, and we move out of this place. Thank you.
Last person there in the back.
Thank you, sir. I think my understanding of all this is that we observe areas that need corrections or adjustment or amendments, and we are hoping to present to the Constitutional Review Committee of NIS to take charge of it. So that's, to me, that's the way I understand it. The second part of it is that there are particular issues that are not professional misconduct per se. For example, the chairman raised the issue of people who fail to pay the pledged amount, before the investigation, and action needs to be taken. Are they to be invested or not? Or after investigation, are they to be defellorized or not? These are issues, peculiar to the board of fellow. Or if you decide that if you are late to a meeting, you will pay a fine of 100 naira, that's peculiar to us here, not an NIS issue per se. I think these are some of the little areas that really needs to be considered for, independent management rather than, taking it up with NIS. Thank you.
So you have the opinion that wherever we have noticed this, the bylaw and the constitution, we should just draft, observe it, and send to Mr. President. That's your view. Okay. I'll take the last comment from there, then we'll go to other things. Yes.
Well, the chairman, the past presidents, my name is Sovio Agbaje. First, I would like to thank the ESCO for their observations and bringing up all these memoranda. The submission that has been made with regards to passing it on to the NIS, I agreed with it, but I believe, my understanding is this, that the board has done a lot of work, and this is their thinking. They want input from us, the rest of the fellows, And that can easily be achieved by saying, well, if you have comments on this memorandum or memoranda, submit it to us within so dates because we want to put it across to the NIS. Thank you very much.
Okay. We will do as you have directed, and that for notes 1 and for notes 2. Now we'll go to notes 3, which is, note 3 does not concern NIS. It concerns us. I mean, it doesn't concern NIS. It's Board of Fellows. Draft manual of the Board of Fellows provisions. You've not even heard what I'm trying to say. We are of the view that we should encourage our members to show interest to serve on the standing committees. And that means we have developed an expression of interest form. They are not going to stand election. The first concept was, the idea I had when I was coming in, which is not correct, is that they are going to stand election. A head of state, a governor appoints commissioners and ministers. They be members of the same political party. In this case, there is no politics. Hitherto is the chairman, together with ESCO, who appoints people to come and serve. And then these lists are forwarded to the NGCC for consideration and ratification before it is brought to the board. What we're saying now is that those who are standing for members of the ESCO, they will still stand election. But the other persons who want people to volunteer and show interest, you have a form to fill, you will tell us your experiences, your qualifications, your vision, what you need to do. And we will give you an opportunity to indicate two committees where you think you have the competence to serve. When we gather all these, we will send it to the NGDC committee, and they will shepherd you through and recommend candidates. That does not stop the chairman of the board to bring anybody in he thinks he wants to come and serve. That is what we are going to discuss here. So if that is agreed by you, all we just need to say approved, and we'll go to the next one. Any comment? Approved. Okay. The other one is note 4. He said,
Excuse me, sir. Somebody who is not interested in serving, in doing anything, can you force him? How we rose up to this meeting, it was interest of individuals. It was interest of individuals. If he showed interest, you will bring this thing into another thing now, where people will come and then you'll be screening them, whether you, and be lobbying. And again, it will affect the finances of the board. Once they meet once at Abuja, you know what it costs. Voluntary is something anybody who is interested. Some of us served with our money, with everything. It is, I think, serving is a privilege. It's a privilege. If you are chosen, I saw all this, and even I was wondering, how are these people working? Where are their reports? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10 different committees. 10 different committees. If you are invited, even the chairman alone to Abuja, 10 where they are coming. No, it may not be always. How could they have time? This is a board. Excuse me, sir. I am not, to me personally, I'm not.
Mr. Chairman, I want to say one thing. Okay. Give it to him so that I can bring it back. I just want to fast track.
None of the committees during this past year have invited to come for a meeting in Abuja. Standing committees hold their meeting online. This year, no committee has been invited to come to Abuja to come and hold a meeting. In my attempt to call people to come and serve, there are many people, there are some of them are sitting down here. When I call them, they say they won't be able to serve. Oh, they have ailment, eye problem, this problem, kidney problem. If you put it this way, people will be interested. They are not going for voting. It's not voting. Those who are going to be voted for are the ESCO members. Why does it hurt you? Many more people will show interest that they want to serve this BOF, and you select from there. That's what we are saying.
I want to tell you that what happens in this place, for example now, everybody here, we're all very busy. They're all elites, higher class. Nobody will write his name that I want to do this. What you do, if you are setting up a particular committee, and it has to do with something like accounting, you look through the list and find out whether we have an accountant here. If you look at special interest, people will be happy to serve when you tell them what you are going to do. I remember that I was the president too. If I want people to serve, I visit them. Past President Fajom Roku is here. When they wanted to say this, when he wanted to form this board of fellows independent, I visited him at home. I visited Bosun, all of them. After deliberate talking to one of them, they all expressed what they wanted. It's okay, very good. Before you even know. So the president cannot sit down in one place without having a one-on-one talk. And it must not be people who are close to you alone. Look at it. Anybody who wants to serve. I won't volunteer, and I don't see anybody volunteering here. They do have time with your busy schedule. So, and again, that is it. When people talk about spending money, I'm not for that. I'm a lawyer. When you start a committee, you spend money. This is the quasi-trade union organization. You are keeping money in the bank. You say you cannot tell people to come and hold meeting. Does it make sense? It's a quasi-trade union organization. It means that this body was set up for the benefit of surveyors, for their well-being. So anything that will move to their well-being, you spend money for it. So I don't like people saying that I don't understand. Why would I spend? People are paying money, won't spend money. Please do that. Thank you.
I didn't say we didn't spend money. What I'm telling you is that
people said it now. People said money.
If you hold a meeting, you spend money. Even though you hold meeting online, you spend money.
Yes.
But what we are saying here is to give room to people who want to serve, to show their interest. You are speaking for yourself.
It's all right. I don't know.
If the generality of the people want it, they will say so. This is not a meeting between the ESCO and past president. It's a meeting for all of you. It is on your behalf we are speaking. If you're interested in serving on, let's hear you speak. That's why you should go. Yes, let's hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, my name is Savio Debo Adeoye, FNI. I want to support the proposal from the president because number one, it will give those who are desiring of service the opportunity to express their interest, that I truly want to serve the board. Because there are people that want to serve, maybe because they don't know the president, they don't know the ESCO, there is no doubt opportunity for them to be nominated into any committees. So, and if you have the opportunity and you want to serve, so if you don't show that interest, it's definitely indicate that you are not willing to serve. So I believe it has addressed a major issue for those who are willing to serve to so express their willingness. And it doesn't cost us anything. And even if you show that interest, it is not cast in iron that you will be so nominated. So there is no reason to, I believe, to drag this so long. It is good, and I want to support it 100%. Thank you very much.
Thank
sir.
you. That's the last speaker there.
Mr. Chairman and the House, I will want to deviate a little. I know what happens also in NIS. When the ESCO want to set up committees, they also ask for nominees from state branches. And we have bodies of fellows in almost all the states around. And if you want people to work on committees, the body of fellows from each of the states can also make nominations. And by so doing, they will populate that desirous intent to harm. And you will see, because that is the closest unit to each of the branches. They know their members, they know those who can do one thing or the other, and then they can now upload those people onto your ESCO. And from there, you can choose who you want to be on your committees. Thank you, sir.
So where do we stand? Where we stand now is that, okay, no, where we stand now is that we will give it a trial. It's not now, it's in the next 2 years. Elections are going up next 2 years. All we are doing is to prepare ourselves going forward. Let those who are interested in serving this board, I even mentioned it in my address, reach out to me. I will get this list and pass it over to the next chairman. It is the same thing like filling the form. If you show interest, we will know you have experience in accounting, you are good in project management, you are good in law. We'll then know which committee to put you inside. I think it's something we should give a trial to. We should try it. If we try it and it doesn't work, we'll go back to the old ways. Approved? Approved. We go to item 4. Consent not to BOF National Surveying Policy and Leadership Summit. Those of you online, you have seen it. I don't want to take too much of your time. What we are attempting to do is to see if we can hold a summit next year, precisely from the 1st of February to the 3rd of February, and then have the board meeting on the 4th. That will give room for us to go back to our various states before the governorship election. And now you will ask, why do you want to hold that meeting? We call it concept the BOF National Surveying Policy and Leadership Summit 2027. The team, we have called it Reposition the Board of Fellows of NIS for Professional Excellence and Institutional Relevance. Like as I've said, proposed date Monday 1st, Wednesday 3rd, so that on Thursday 4th we can hold the board meeting. We want to hold it in Abuja venue, we will find out. But the whole cost of this, NIS, BOF is not going to spend any money. We are thinking that we will be able to get subvention from government. So if we don't get the subvention, we will not do it. We are not spending BOF money. Now the background and rationale. The Board of Fellows is apex body of eminent professionals within the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, mandated to uphold ethics, preserve standards, and provide strategic leadership for surveying profession in Nigeria. The current executive was inaugurated in June 2025 with a 3-year mandate. By February 2027, the committee would have served 1 year and 7 months, midpoint of its tenure. It is therefore both timely and necessary to convene a strategic summit as a structured platform for reflection, accountability, and realignment of priorities. Now, this is very distinct from annual general meeting. The summit is fundamentally different from the board's annual general meeting. It is not a routine administrative gathering, but a high-level, deliberate forum focused on policy, governance, and the future of the profession. 1.2, philosophy and scope. The summit will bring together all key stakeholders for 3 days of intensive, frank, and forward-looking deliberations. Its scope extends beyond the board to address 4 critical pillars: governance and operational excellence, engagement and visibility, capacity building and digital transformation, financial sustainability, and future planning. So these are the things we need to do. Goals and objectives of the summit: to conduct a comprehensive midterm review of the executive committee's tenure and produce a strategic roadmap that strengthens the board of fellows and advances the surveying profession. And specific objectives will be: review the performance of the executive committee against the strategic work plan and campaign promises, and review the performance of all 7 standing committees against their mandates. Harmonize completing positions on honorary fellowship, disciplinary matters, and other issues that we have discussed here. Deepen synergy among BOF, NIS, SOCON, and the Office of the Surveyor General of Federation. Integrate the perspective of past chairmen of BOF and past president of NIS to strengthen institutional memory. Engage educational regulators, NUC, NBTE, NERDC, on curriculum relevance and professional development. Now, secure partnership and funding support for board's programs. And at the end, draft and adopt an Abuja declaration for 2037 as a binding communique and implementation. This is where we are. What we're asking for you is to give us approval. You are not spending any money. If the money does not come, we will not do it. That's where we are. Yes, yeah.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Surveyor Mohammed Nadia. Very good idea that you're putting forward. But I have a problem. That is not something that Board of Fellows should undertake. That's number one. You can advise NIS to bring out these very important type of things. And NIS will open it to all surveyors. The fact that we are Board of Fellows, honestly, we don't have a monopoly of all the ideas that will make surveying forward. What you want to do is honestly an excellent idea, and I think there are other proposals similar to yours that even the public are trying to undertake. But, sir, that is not Board of Fellows. You should advise NIS and give them the models that you want to do, and they will discuss if they find everything you say is correct. And if they say, okay, look, go and do it within the Board of Fellows alone, yeah, okay. But okay. I don't think NIS Board of Fellows have that kind of powers. Okay. We must appreciate that we are an advisory committee, we are not an executive committee. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I don't wish to further discuss it because that sounds very germane for me. Having a hindsight, that looks very perfect. And we don't mind, we can pass on the details and all that to NIS and see where they take off from there. We'll support them. You wanted to say something? Yes.
We had done this in the past, and that reminds me of Kuru 2008 in Jos, when we had a stakeholders forum. I think in that line, I definitely support, and I think he must have picked my brain for saying that. Thank you very much, Nadu, my boy.
Okay, the other one is note 5. We don't need to discuss it because it's inside the Constitution. Sorry, inside our accounts, that budget that was given today. We just needed to explain additional works with services and the scope of work we are providing to R&D. It's inside there, we can drop it. The other one is proposal for commemoration of the Board of Fellows 10th anniversary. This one again, last year under the leadership of Middle Pass Administration, a budget of 17 million naira was made for this project, but it did not take off. We are thinking that this ESCO should bring out the books dust this and see if we'll be able to have a 10-year commemoration and an anniversary. And we will also ask for government support to do this, but we already have a 17 million budget in the current budget to do it. So it's to put AGM again on notice that next year, if you give us the permission, we will engage the Research and Development Committee, which will run this show, and then our vice president, our vice chairman, will be a coordinator to that committee to ensure that next year they give us a very fantastic 10th year anniversary. Again, we need your approval to start work on it. Well, if I don't hear anything, that means silence means yes. Thank you. The last, I would like, this one is a controversial one, but I will ask you to open your mind to listen to it. There is nothing spoiled. Either you pass an exam or you fail an exam. We have earlier talked about this building, the legacy building, and we're done with it. We have agreed what to be done. But I would like to play a voice role. Can you play that role for us? That's the end of it. So after that, we will discuss and we'll close.
Memorandum of Understanding on Joint Ownership and Administration of the NIS Legacy Building, Karsana District, Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, between the Executive Committee of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, NIS Exco of the National Secretariat, Abuja, hereinafter referred to as NIS, and the Executive Committee of the Board of Fellows, Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, BOF Exco, hereinafter referred to as BOF, collectively referred to as the parties. 1. Background. 1.1. The parties jointly acquired a fixed and immovable asset known as NIS Legacy Building, situated at Karsana District, FCT, Abuja, for use as befitting office accommodation for the institution. 1.2. The total acquisition cost of the said building was 570 million naira only. 1.3. The BOF contributed 100 million naira as capital contribution towards the acquisition, which is neither a loan nor a gift or donation. 1.4. The NIS Exco contributed 470 million naira from its funds and other sources. 1.5. This MOU is executed to record the ownership structure, define the rights and obligations of the parties, and provide a framework for the administration, use, and future disposal of the building. 2. Equity structure. 2.1. The parties agree that the equity interest in the NIS Legacy Building shall be as follows. Party capital contribution, equity percent ratio. BOF, 100 million naira, 17.44%. 1. NIS Exco, 470 million naira, 82.46%. 4.7. Total, 570 million naira, 100%, 5.7. 2.2. The said equity structure shall be reflected in the financial statements and fixed asset registers of both parties as investment in fixed asset, equity contribution to NIS Legacy Building, Karsana. 3. Purpose and use of building. 3.1. The building shall serve as the principal office accommodation of the NIS and shall house the National Secretariat. 3.2. The BOF shall be allocated dedicated office space within the building of not less than blank square meters, clearly delineated and documented in an attached Schedule A. 3.3. Both parties shall have reasonable access to common areas, boardrooms, and facilities subject to prior scheduling. 4. Management and maintenance. 4.1. A Joint Asset Management Committee, JAMC, comprising 3 nominees each from NIS Exco and BOF Exco, shall be constituted to oversee administration, maintenance, and security of the building. 4.2. All recurrent expenditure for upkeep, utilities, security, insurance, and maintenance shall be borne by the parties in proportion to their equity holdings. That is, BOF 17.54%, NIS Exco 82.46%. 4.3. The JAMC shall prepare an annual budget for maintenance to be approved by both parties not later than 31st March of each year. 4.4. Any capital improvement exceeding 10 million naira shall require the written consent of both parties.
5. Accounting and valuation. 5.1. The building shall be carried in the books of both parties at cost, subject to periodic revaluation in line with International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS. 5.2. As of May 2026, the estimated market value is 584,250,000 naira, representing 2.5% appreciation. Future appreciation or depreciation shall accrue to the parties pro rata to equity. 5.3. The external auditors of both parties shall disclose the equity interest and basis of valuation in the notes to the accounts. 6. Disposal or encumbrance. 6.1. Neither party shall sell, lease long-term, mortgage, or otherwise encumber the building or its equity interest without the prior written consent of the other party. 6.2. In the event of a mutually agreed disposal, the net proceeds shall be shared between the parties in proportion to their equity percentages stated in Clause 2.1. 6.3. Both shall have the right of first refusal should NIS Exco seek to divest any portion of its equity. 7. Dispute resolution. 7.1. Any dispute arising from this MOU shall first be referred to the President of NIS and the Chairman BOF for amicable resolution. 7.2. Failing resolution within 60 days, the matter shall be referred to an arbitration panel of 3 fellows, 1 appointed by each party and the 3rd appointed by the first 2. 8. Duration and amendment. 8.1. This MOU shall take effect from the date of last signature and shall remain in force so long as the parties jointly own the building. 8.2. Amendments shall be in writing and duly executed by authorized representatives of both parties. 9. Governing law. 9.1. This MOU shall be governed by the Constitution of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors and the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In witness whereof, the parties have caused this MOU to be executed by their duly authorized representatives on this day of 2026. 4. The Executive Committee, NIS. Surveyor P.S. Chukwuemeka Eze, FNIS. President, Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. Surveyor Kenny O. Secretary General, Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. 4. The Executive Committee, Board of Fellows. Surveyor Alabo Charles Ye David Charles, JP, FNIS, FMNGS, FNAGE, ENAPE, PPNIS, PPNMGS, Chairman, Board of Fellows. Surveyor Emmanuel Akin Ajay Akin, Secretary, Board of Fellows. Attachments. Schedule A, floor plan showing BOF allocated office space. Schedule B, evidence of payment contribution by BOF and NIS Exco. Schedule C, current valuation report as of May 2026.
Well, we have listened to the presentation during the course of our AGM. you have directed that the building be considered as an asset. And so we are putting before AGM. Is there any need? Is there any directive for the ESCO to engage the executive of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors as to go into any legal documentation? If it is no, we will not do it. If it is yes, we will do it. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, sir. I wish to congratulate you. It's really, the presentation is very good, and the thought behind it, the investment requirement, they are all well put together. Except, sir, that the first 100 naira that was donated to NIS, that cannot come under this problem. This was decided at AGM. And I don't think it makes sense for even us to go back to AGM and change it. This is number one. Number two, the legacy building is honestly a very good investment. So if Board of Fellows with the 490 million and all those investments that you have put to us, particularly those that have to do with these shares, if you want to liquidate some of this money and put it into the NIS building as an investment, it makes a lot of sense, because this legacy building is going to be multiplying much, much faster than what you are going to get from shares now. So, sir, two things. Honestly, you are beating a dead horse. What was decided in the AGM was, it was not a loan, it was a donation. It was not an investment. Let's not go back that way. But if you want to invest in the legacy building, then I think it's a very good investment. If you want to cash in on some of those, honestly, most of the shares we have, shares tend to bramble around. If you want to cash on those and invest in the legacy building, then I give you 100% support, sir. Thank you very much.
Well, it's like you have missed the train. Earlier on, we have discussed, and the auditor has also explained to you, it appears as an asset. What we're asking you now is further go down. Do we go into legal agreement? That's the reason we're playing this. So either it is yes or it is no. But we are not going back to that. Money is an investment that
sir,
we put aside.
what the auditor said, the auditor who was not there when the donation was made, is absolute, English, big English. But it does not say the AGM. It was an AGM decision. It's not a Board of Fellows decision. And there's no way you can change an AGM decision. And the AGM decision, when Atilola was the chairman of the Board of Fellows and Ibitwe here was the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors, said donation. And
okay, let me give, you are secretary at the time, right? Please explain to us.
Thank you, Chairman. I remember that when this issue came up, I think we were meeting at Bentley Hotel, and a lot of issues came up on how to describe the amount that was being given to NIS that time. Some people said it should be a donation. Some people said it should be a gift. And we said, no, it cannot be a gift. I think it was past President Boswan Inde that came up and said, this cannot be a donation. So the issue of calling it a donation is out of it entirely. However, because we had issues with our accounts, you cannot say you donate 100 million and not attract attention from some agencies of government. And when it was so stated in our account, we discovered that we were running a deficit of 92 million naira. And we said, how do we explain that to the board, that we have a deficit of 92 million? What did we do with the money? Until it came up that, I remember that when Sylvia Umar contributed to the discussions on the floor of the meeting, he called it participatory contribution, and it was accepted by the General House on that day. So we should not create an issue over this. Now we have money that is invested somewhere. Nobody is claiming ownership of the building with the institution. It is the institution that owns the building. There are no two ways about that. However, somebody might come in future and say, where did you put that money? If you cannot call it donation, which we have been advised against and which we have destroyed our own accounting system, then we should call it investment. We know we are not claiming anything from it. And I think the external auditor even advised that, look, call it investment, that you will not collect any money from, but you will not be paying for rent. It's not a financial return that you are asking for. You will not be paying for rent at all. That is the investment. Because, I mean, if you are occupying an office somewhere, you will definitely pay for it. But because you have invested 100 million in that building, you are not going to pay for rent no matter how long you stay in the building. Thank you.
Yes, let me hear Prof. Prof. 1, 2, 1, 2. You don't talk too much.
My chairman and the House.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Donation. What are the other words? Investment, gift. I think, you see, I know that some people here felt very strongly that it should be treated as a loan. That is the truth. In fact, they voiced it out that it should be a loan. But how, I mean, it didn't sound right. I had the honor of moving the motion that day. And the motion was that we should contribute 100 million to the funds that are being gathered together to buy a house. Now, if the accountants and so on, if they go forward to say that to make sure that the books are not cooked, but we are not in debt also, and we don't suffer repercussions, that it should be treated as an investment, I have no objection to it. But I think it is going just too far to begin to ask lawyers to come between us and NIS to draft agreements that this is a percentage and that is a percentage and so on and so forth. I think we should walk away from that. Maybe because I've never been a businessman and I don't have a business thinking orientation, maybe that's why I'm unable to see it that, you know, for future purposes, you need to legalize these things. But I think one part of a family supports the project of the entire family by a sum of money, and after they want to go to a lawyer to draft agreement that henceforth this and this and this is how it should be. I want to advise against it. So my answer is no, in short. Thank you.
Thank you. That closes the matter, except your answer is yes. If your answer is no, then the matter is closed. Thank you. Yeah? You say? No, there's no modification. No is no. Yes is yes. Okay. So, there we are. Goodwill messages, anyone? We will now take the budget, and that will be the last item on our agenda. Chief, Chairman, please come. Sorry, sir. Yes.
I think we should try as much as possible to leave this place, to close this by 6 o'clock, latest.
Yes. 6 o'clock, we'll leave here.
Mr. Chairman, sir, distinguished fellows, please could somebody turn on the budget. Secretary. Okay. If you look at your pamphlet, it is on page 78 and 78, 79, 80. This is the budget, the proposed budget for the year 2026-2027. I don't know whether you want me to go through it line by line, or you look at it and then raise questions. Okay, it's on the screen. So I will plead that you take a look at it, and then let us. This is page 1. Go to page 1. Page 1, page 1, page 2, page 3, and that is all. You may wish to advert your minds to the actual of 2025-2026 and the proposed 2026-2027. It will aid you in raising up questions. The notes have been explained. Note 1 and note 2 had been earlier explained by Mr. Chairman. So, Mr. Chairman, sir, I'd like to say that the budget has been presented. You may wish to ask for adoption as a document of the board, and thereafter ask that it be approved. Thank you, sir. You take the questions. You take the questions. Let him take the questions. But if you want, I can. Hello, Mr. Chairman, you can have handed over to you, sir.
Yes, I'm trying to pay the vice chairman the loan I took from him yesterday. It's going beyond 1 day. I told him I was going to pay him within 24 hours. I just remembered this, so I'll pay him. Thank you. Now, let's move a motion to adopt the budget, and then we can. Yes, sir. My man, Chairman Emeritus.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, sir. I'm happy you finally recognized me. I, Surveyor Chooks Martins Nzomewu, hereby move a motion that the proposed 2026-2027 Board of Fellows budget be adopted for discussion. Thank you, sir.
Seconder.
I, Surveyor Akinde Abiodun Akinyemi, do second the motion moved.
Surveyor AAA. Now this budget has been adopted. Let's see hands who want to discuss it. This way. Center. And brother. Okay, there are 3 hands there. Auditor for life. DD. Is that the colonel? Retired colonel? I can't see your face. 1, 2, 3. Where is it? Somebody there? No, 4, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I stand on existing protocols. Surveyor Dr. Didigu Augustus. I just want to ask a question on the last page of the budget. That's page 80, where we have the actual for 2025-2026 are 421 million and 90,513 naira 20 kobo. And we have a proposal to be 272 million 965,027 naira 85 kobo. So, are we not carrying out the activities of 2025, 2026 to the next year, because the gap between the actual for 2025 and 2026 and the proposed for 2026, 2027 is very wide. That's the question I'm asking. Thank you.
I don't want to waste your time. If you just look at it, investment capital market 110 million. We don't have improvement. You do that when it comes up. See it here. Investment capital market is 110 million, 104, 890. And with it zero. You don't plan. It's only when you see the market that you begin to go and buy. That's why is that you have that difference. Number 2.
Thank you, Mr. President, sir. I only observe out of the proposed income, looking at item number 1 in terms of subvention, I think the proposed there is very, very high.
So what?
It's high. You are proposing 10 million there. Number 1 from the, sorry, number 2 now. Number 2. Number 2, sir.
What rental now?
Under income page 78.
Oh, I thought you were looking at number 2. Subvention of NIs, yes?
Yes, I'm saying that the proposal there is high for reality's sake, sir. Then number...
Come. Are you the president of NIs? As to tell us that the budget we are getting is high. It is the president who will tell us that, not you. Huh? So go say something else.
Okay. Item number 11, sir. Also, in terms of numbers, too, I think that one's supposed, or I suggest that it should be increased from 15 million to 17.5, because I tried to calculate the numbers of present surveyors that are fellows in terms of numbers. Those are my 2 observations, sir. Thank you.
Okay, let me also help you. If in 2024, 2025, we budgeted 2.9 million and we're able to get 3.9, then 2025, we budgeted 15 million and we got only 5 million. We just want to leave it at that budget. It's something we can do if everybody's paying. But we've not gotten the 15 million. Say we should go to 17 million. It doesn't make any sense for us now. So we'll leave it at 15 million as it is. Third person there.
Thank you very much, sir. Page 79, item 8, midterm assessment. I saw the proposed.
Page 79.
Yes, sir. Item 8.
Okay.
I saw midterm assessment.
Yeah.
30 million under proposed.
Yes.
I just want to know what the midterm assessment is all about. Thank you.
Go to note 1 now. Okay. Fund to be secured from government practitioners as donors. We've said so even in my speech that we are not going to produce that money. Yes? The last person there? You didn't raise your hand before. I don't operate. Huh? No. If you raise your hand, I call you. No, raise your hand. The last person there.
Mr. Chairman of the House, Joseph Alu, the FNIS. The first speaker spoke exactly on the point I wanted to raise, but I would suggest that there was nothing wrong in making a proposal for the investment in the capital market for this year. There's nothing wrong in making that proposal. Thank you. There is nothing wrong in making a proposal for the capital investment. The first speaker raised the point I wanted to say exactly, and the chairman answered that we took away the 110 million in the proposal. I said there's nothing wrong in making another proposal for this year's budget. Thank you.
GTB, we moved because of the advice of the stockbroker. We took some shares from a particular bank, sold, and then moved that same money to another bank to buy the shares. So that appeared to have raised the volume of both the income and the expenditure. That's basically what happened. Thank you.
Okay, LCK, you are insisting. I'll give you the phone. Yeah, Mike, tell us what you have in your mind. And that's the last person to speak on this. After that, we have to ratify the conferment of honorary fellowship on the governor of this state.
My chairman, sir. The observation is that if you go to number 4 of page 79, number 4, we are just seeing office accommodation under rent. And having known that we are sharing everything with NIS, why are we going rent? Thank you. You have 2 million there.
And we were staying at 30 S.O. Williams. But NIS technically has left the place. We cannot leave immediately because we are doing this digitalization and setting up our website. So we are still there. Even NIS is there. So the landlord has asked us to pay this money, which we are paid. Otherwise, we would have thrown outside. NIS too will pay because they have not finally left the place. So that's what this rent you see, and we'll make sure that it's captured in our rent. It's something we have already spent. Okay? Shall I call on Prof to come and... Yeah, the rent is for 3 months, please. Starting, that's ending August, right? Yeah. By August, we are down to Kasana. Prof, can I have the honor and the pleasure to call upon you to address the AGM on the issue of honorary fellowship to the governor of our dear state? Sure.
Mr. Chairman and the House, very briefly, I need to report to you an exercise that was performed on your behalf as members of the Honors Committee. We received a communication from the chairman on behalf of the executive of the BOF of a nomination by the president of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors of what do we call them now? The governor, the executive governor of Kano State, nomination of the executive governor of Kano State for an honorary fellowship of this institution. And in making the case, the president stressed that the nomination or the suggestion for it came from the state branch of NIS. And they listed many things that the governor had done and was going to do now and even after the AGM for the NIS. And we then did due diligence on this recommendation by saying we, I'm talking about the Honors Committee, Honors and Meritorious Award Committee. And after the due diligence, we met, and after due consideration, we recommended the award, that the award also should be made as suggested by those who proposed it, that the award should be made at the opening ceremony of the AGM tomorrow. We turned in this recommendation to the executive of the BOF through the chairman, and the executive duly considered it and approved on behalf of the board. That approval was necessary because of the fact that arrangements had to be made, and there was not going to be a meeting of the board between then and now. So it is necessary to present this action of ours to the board and ask that the board should please ratify that award to is it Alaji or Malam Yusuf? To the executive governor of Kano State tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think we're under closing now because these issues are being discussed under any other business. So closing, we need somebody to move. First, if you follow the program, there's a communique which is not ready. Abro Lambo. Yes, before the close of work tomorrow, it should be ready. Let's see the draft, and then you can put it on our e-platform. As let me stand, please, and say my sincere thanks to members of the board who are still here. This is what we are saying about discipline. They say we should tell council to discipline them. Otherwise, all those empty seats, I will just get the names of the people there. I will collect money from them and find them. But they say, no, we should wait, we will wait. But I thank all of you who have had that patience to wait till now. And I thank you for all the support you've given to this executive who promise to continue to strengthen the vision and mission of the board. And every time we come out, we promise we are going to do it better. Thank you, and God bless you all. So shall we have a motion for adjournment? Motion for adjournment. Those who have not spoken before. The lady, yes. Yes. We have finished AOB now. AOB. All these things we are telling you about the building was something. I determine what is AOB, not you. How can you say how can that be AOB? Go ahead, give her the phone, let her move the motion. Move the motion. Or I move it for you.
The chairman, sir. The chairman, past presidents and fellows in the house. Good evening. It's after 6, and I want to move a competent motion that in the absence of all other things to be discussed, we should adjourn the meeting till the ESCO decides. Thank you. My name is Dukwe Nehilola Olainka Adesumo.
Okay, so let's get up and have a closing prayer. Supported. Okay, sorry. Yes. Yes. I will put his name. He moved motion for support. Oh, I formally do it. Formally do it. Formally do it. Our boundary man. Formally do it.
So your SME is I second the motion. Thank you.
Nigeria may be blessed. Thank you very much. Wish you well. Be strong and come out tomorrow for the opening ceremony. The AGM now in full swing. Thank you.
My chairman, sir, this one here.